Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
The South Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating a deadly weekend rollover in the southern Black Hills. It happened early Saturday morning west of Pringle.
Authorities say a car driven by a 24-year-old man from Cherokee, Iowa, went into the ditch, struck a culvert, and rolled. The driver was thrown from the car and died at the scene.
Evacuation notices have been lifted after crews in the Black Hills fought a wildfire that had threatened homes over the weekend.
The fire, which started on Saturday, has burned about 39 acres near Rockerville, south of Rapid City. At one point, Pennington County Sheriff's deputies were going door to door telling people to leave. But homeowners got the all clear to return Saturday night.
Some roads remain closed Sunday morning while people were being urged to stay out of the areas where firefighters were still working.
President Trump's proposed plan to move the U.S. Postal Service into the Department of Commerce has drawn criticism from postal workers across the country because they worry it could lead to the service being privatized.
Trump says the change would improve the Postal Service's operation. However, around 150 people spoke out against the proposal at Faywick Park Sunday.
We work for the public. You know, this is the public's postal service. This isn't the president's job to come in and say we need to privatize the postal service because they want to try to make profit off it and dismantle us and separate us all up.
This was not the first protest in Sioux Falls against the possible USPS privatization. Around 30 people took part in a rally on Thursday.
Now let's head over to the KELOLAND Live Doppler Storm Center for a look at this morning's weather. Good morning, Brian.
All right, good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Weather today, it looks like less wind in the forecast. That's some good news, but temperatures will be in the 50s with that cloud cover, too, that's fairly thick. And we're also tracking a couple of sprinkles and a widely scattered shower. Some of that looks impressive on radar in western KELOLAND, but not a lot of it reaching the ground today. So keep that in mind. We're going to dive into a warming trend in our 7-day forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Brian. 4 Augustana students are ready for their capstone to be available to everyone. The students all have a minor in brewing and fermentation.
They created a special honey orange saison brew that's a little different from other beers.
Some of the modifications we've made to the beer is we've used Kernza grain, and it's a perennial crop, and it's going to kind of promote that sustainability aspect to our beer and the whole brewing process.
The brew will be available at Big Lost Meadery. They're having their launch party on Friday.
March is an active month at the Denny Sanford Premier Center.
From the Summit League basketball tournament to the final games of the Stampede hockey season, it's been all hands on deck.
There's a certain level of satisfaction that we were able to accommodate so many people, and so many people will be able to come through our doors, whether it's the arena doors, the convention doors, or the Premier Center doors.
After the March rush, staff at the Premier Center said they'll be replacing the center scoreboard sometime this summer, along with other enhancements.
The SDSU women's basketball team is just hours away from playing to advance to the second Sweet 16 in program history. The Jackrabbits, who knocked off Oklahoma State in the first round, will now meet second-seeded UConn on the Huskies' home court tonight.
This will be the 6th time this season that South Dakota State matches up with a nationally ranked foe. While the Jacks have gone 3-2 in those contests, they know it'll be a tough matchup against the 11-time national champs.
Just going into it tomorrow, with that mindset, it's probably not going to be perfect, but just, trying to play the best we can and putting our best game forward is really what we're focusing on.
The Jackrabbits and Huskies tip off at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens.
All right, weather today, looking at sprinkles and a couple of shower chances, mainly west this morning, and that activity would likely tend to fizzle out as we go throughout the afternoon. So we'll keep some of the clouds rolling through, but just not very efficient at getting a lot of moisture to hit the ground. 55 there in Huron at 5 o'clock. Looks like low to mid 50s around Sioux Falls, and not a lot different in Rapid City. But the winds will be stronger and rapid, 20 to 40 miles per hour. Another chance of a couple of these sprinkles and light showers teasing us here late tonight and early tomorrow morning. So don't be surprised at enough rain maybe to sprinkle the windshield and that type of thing, but it just doesn't look very sustained. And then highs tomorrow, we're going to jump back into the upper 50s in Sioux Falls and even 60-degree weather likely west of the James River Valley. We'll get into Wednesday, and by the way, tomorrow the wind does pick back up, so that's another factor on Tuesday. We're going to want to watch that, but Wednesday's forecast is looking lighter and actually pleasant temperatures. A lot of 60-degree weather just west of Sioux Falls, and probably even a couple of 70s are going to come back for Rapid City, Winter, Phillip, and Pine Ridge. And then maybe we start Thursday morning with a couple of showers in the southeast. These are very much spring-like themes of the forecast, and we're going to continue to roll along as we get into Thursday and Friday. Take a look at this sample map. There's the projected high temperatures on Thursday and a large batch of 70s west of Sioux Falls. We could see that again on Friday. More 70s, even some 80s trying to show up in far southeast South Dakota. But that is ahead of a storm system that will be changing up the weather as we get into Saturday. There will be rain in the region. Looks like right now the preliminary outlook is for most of that to cut a little south of us, but as always, when we're a few days out, we're going to want to continue to watch the forecast. This is a trough coming in across the Intermountain West. The jet stream pattern is going to basically flatten out or actually come at us from the southwest. And so initially, with all that warm weather around the Midwest here, it looks like there'll probably be some thunderstorms to kick off the weekend. And then you'll kind of see a battle zone where some rain will set up. And if we get intertwined with that, you know, the potential's there too for some rain to snow scenarios yet. It's not too early to call that out in the possibilities. And then, of course, April comes into the picture before you know it. And with a trough sitting to our west, typically that's a more active pattern. So again, a lot of details to iron out, but enough weather to keep us on our toes here. In the meantime today, we're thankful for less wind. 56 Sioux Falls today, 53 in Brookings, and 54 in Aberdeen. 7-day forecast. We're going to keep those temperatures on the climb here through midweek into the upper 50s and then nearing 70 by Thursday, and Friday's high not far from 80. But the weekend will change, and again, depending on the track of the storm system and how much wind gets involved, it'll definitely be much different scenario there with some blustery conditions. Aberdeen in the northeast, we go from 68 on Friday to 48 on Saturday with a rain chance there. It looks like more of the rain could go south of us, but let's see if that can change a bit there as we go through the week. Pierre and Rapid City, same idea. We want to warm those temperatures for Thursday and Friday and then drop back down as we kick off the weekend. Could be in the upper 40s there in Rapid City by Saturday. Check out much more on the forecast online at KELOLAND.com.